guitar players. Today we are getting to what I like to call the Canadian chord. A, A. And we're going to deal with two kinds of A major, just regular A, and a seventh. There's another one, we'll get into that later. So A is one of those chords that a lot of people have trouble with, and others have trouble with and don't know that they're having trouble, because it's often taught with the fingering that doesn't work for like literally anybody. So they'll tell you to put your third finger on the second string, your second finger on the third string, and your first finger on the fourth string. Like that. And what that does is it makes your fourth string sound like this. Ugh. If you push hard enough to make that note, if you push hard enough to make it ring clear like that, it will be out of tune. The problem is you haven't got room for three fingers stacked side by side on the same fret on next door neighbor strings. It just doesn't work unless you've got really teeny weeny little itty bitty fingers. It works for some young girls and some women with small hands. For those of us with normal sized fingers, those who have non-petite fingers or more common sized fingers, it just cannot work. And even for those with tiny fingers, that first finger on the fourth string is going to be always in the bottom half of the fret. Bottom, low being that way, because those are the low notes and these are the high notes. So here's the secret. Third finger on the second string, yes. Second finger on the fourth string, where it can make a nice clear note. And your first finger has got room to sneak up in between them. Nice clear A chord. Now here's the other part. When you go to play an A seventh, use your middle two fingers. The same ones. So you're learning one fingering for A and A seventh. You'll see in a lot of books another different A seventh, and it's because this note on the third fret on the first string can be played with your pinky, and that is another G, just like you opened up when you pick up your first finger on the third string. Very important anytime you're playing chords, fingertips, very tips of your fingers, because if you're over on the flat, fleshy part of your fingers, instead of this, you're going to get this. You're going to get clunks and thunks, because your fingers are touching strings that should be open and allowed to ring. So, A. This is not a trivial thing. If you use a different fingering, all of your chord changes get harder. It makes them more difficult. If you use this fingering to get to an E chord, your first finger is on the right string already. It slides down. Do not pick it up. Slide it down. Anytime your finger doesn't have to do something, it must do nothing. Anytime a finger can get away with doing something, it must not do that thing that it can get away with doing. Because the more your fingers do, the busier they are. And if your fingers are busy doing unnecessary things, they're not available for doing the things they need to do. So E to A. Change is good. E, first finger slides down, second finger moves over one string. Third finger follows it two strings, and there's your E. Third finger goes all the way across to get out of the way onto the second string. Your second finger follows and your first finger slides up. A, E. Look how little my fingers are moving. If I do this and then this, they're all shuffling all over the place and the A chord sounds like crap. Let's get unstuck. Get that 2, 1, 3 fingering. Second finger, first finger, third finger. Use that for your A. Your life will get easier on guitar. That's it for today. Practice your change from A to E and back to A, back to E, and we'll use it next time we get together. Get unstuck.